Hey, True Believers England team here. No Jeopardy tonight. We didn't have enough players, so I figure, what the hell? Let's just do a live stream. And VENKMAN said, yeah, okay, let's talk about comics. If we do have players, we'll pick it up again. Hopefully next Sunday, maybe whenever we do have people. As far as the tournament that I tried to set up, we had, I believe, Yellow Spider-Man, Almighty Jack, Jim Sorensen, Nerdy Texan Accountant. So, yeah, we needed 5 more. So I don't know if that'll ever happen. But that happens with game shows. It's something for a while people like to watch rather than play. So you run it out. Hopefully we'll be able to pick that up again when we have more interested parties.
Yep.
For now, I figured since we didn't have anything planned, I looked around. I was like, well, what is there to talk about beyond actual real world politics? I want to talk about, something comics and all that. And I found a list, and it's from a very well-respected
CBR.
It's from a very well-respected comic book website called CBR. Man, that's hard to get out. That is just hard to get out. So I figure, what the heck? Let's check it out and see if we agree at all with this. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. In all honesty, some of it I do. I actually decided to make my background one of, to me, this is a comic book story that does not hold up. It's not Marvel. It's not DC, though. I didn't realize it was a DC list until I put my background up. And then I thought, yeah, screw it. I want to see how many people actually mention this just from the little preview that you get of Sneaker Wars is a DC comic. You don't.
I like all this up here. It's like Taste of Home.
Oh, yeah, the little Thanksgiving thing. I know, right?
That's why they are time like those magazines.
This is something I never see in nature, by the way. The color brown does not exist in Florida.
Oh, we have orange, brown, and then we have a lot of white for like 6 months.
Yeah, that doesn't exist here either. Okay, I should have backed it up before I shared it. 10 comics that are important to DC history, but not very good. It goes on, of course, to DC is 80 years, blah, 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 yada, yada. There's something for everyone, whether it be universe-shattering events or quieter, more personal stories. That's the glory of DC. Its heroes, villains, and are icons, but are also human. So we're going to get started. And number 10 for them was 0 Hour. And they mentioned that 0 Hour gifted the DC universe with some great characters and brought Parallax back, but it's not great. 0 Hour, written by Dan Jurgens, it was subtitled Crisis in Time, and it tried its best to live up to that. The problem is that it really didn't do much. Extant was the book's big bad, but it was obvious when his identity was revealed that was just a way to redeem Armageddon 2001. Some things about the DCU were changed, but it's all tame. And it says the book introduced some characters who would become very important, like Bart Allen, Jack Knight, and brought back Parallax after his defeat in Emerald Twilight, while most of the events of it were forgettable. This is one I agree with. I got to tell you, I remember reading 0 Hour, and even at the time, I was thinking, there's nothing to this. There's just... It's not a good story. There's I don't even remember that Bart Allen was introduced in this. So ultimately, I got to agree with him on this. Have you ever read this one, RDV?
I haven't read a lot of DC. I'm just starting to dip my toes in. There's a lot of crises I need to.
Yeah, there's a lot of there are. Well, what happened was also. This is one of those let's fix Hawkeye by destroying the entire, or not Hawkeye, Hawkman, by destroying the entire universe and retconning everything.
Retcon.
Just like 10 years before, we had Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then they decided to do another universe reset. And I think readers went, we're going to pay attention to Crisis. And so they tried to make these changes with 0 Hour, and most of them, who cares? We didn't give a crap about it when this happened. So ultimately, I've got to give it to CBR. 1 point for CBR. They got this one right. So next they go on to Flashpoint. Number 9 was Flashpoint. It should have been longer and should have focused on a different character, really. And it says, DC fans has had known since 1986 and introduced the New 52 in an infamous line-wide reboot. One can argue its merits, but it was massively important. There are problems, though. For starters, Barry Allen isn't actually the villain of the story, or is actually the villain of the story, since his actions created the doomed world, but the book pretends he's a hero. It's remarkably tone-deaf and goes to 2010's DC's deification of Barry Allen. On top of that, the book could have benefited from more issues because the whole thing felt rushed.
I agree. It should have been YLS since they hate him. YLS should have caused Flashpoint.
In all honesty, I never read it. I was out of comics at this point, and I heard they were gonna reboot the whole thing. I'm like, I'm out. I'm done, guys. I never read it.
Like I said, I dipped out around 2012 of all comics, so I didn't come back to 2019. Stress free.
One thing I can say is I did see the movie though, and based on that, here's the thing: Barry Allen isn't a villain in this story. He made a mistake, and there's a difference with that. He made a mistake, and yes, it had universe changing outcomes, but he's not the villain. He didn't set out to do evil, so
he was tempted. He's human.
Ultimately, I don't know if I would put this on based on the movie. I wouldn't put this on a suck list because that movie was really tight, but sometimes that happens. A movie might be better than the book. I don't know. I don't know if this is the case here. All right, let's see what they've got for number 8. Hell Arisen pulled a bait and switch on readers during the Year of the Villain, and it says DC's Year of the Villain branding was meant to build a sense of doom in the DC multiverse in 2019 as things move towards death metal. An important book at its time was Hell Arisen, written by James Tynion. It pit Lex Luthor against the Batman the Batman who laughs to see who would be Perpetua's lieutenant, and that's the problem. DC had a massive Batman Who Laughs worship problem, working to make the savage villain the next big thing. Luthor was seemingly being built up, but then this book came along and took everything away from Lex. It hurt a lot of the other books going on at the time, and was yet another example of BWL getting shoved. Oh, Batman Who Laughs. I was
when this came out, it was just another thing because we just got it's right after Rebirth, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So this is right after when Bendis was taking over. I remember correctly, just before.
Rhaegar saying cancel Barry Allen. Hashtag cancel Barry Allen and hashtag hello Eric.
Holy crap. Eric Breen joins them. He's like, no Jeopardy, I'll join.
Yep. Eric Breen is afraid to face me in Jeopardy. You guys know that.
Yeah, you don't want to give you any more reason to get any more arrogant.
Damn straight.
He'll forget about it next week.
What would happen if I actually got into that 2%? You'd never get over it.
Right?
Maybe
I'm actually doing this for you.
In all honesty, I do know that you are more knowledgeable at comics than I am. And by the way, we do need players for Jeopardy. So once again, if you are interested in playing, let me know in the comments to any Jeopardy video at England Teen on Twitter or englandteen@gmail.com. We will do comic book videos if we do not have players. But I got to tell you, I'm enjoying going through this list. Hell Arisen, I got to tell you, I read a few issues of and I dropped. I hate the Batman Who Laughs, which is weird because I loved when he was first introduced. I thought he was a scary mother. I really thought he could be a great villain, but they do
overstays welcome.
Yeah. Modern day comics are it's like they're learning all of the wrong lessons from 90s comics. Right down to the speculation, right down to the oversaturation. It's immensely bad idea. Batman Who Laughs, I got to tell you, just kind of wore out his welcome really quick with me.
You know what I just realized? You know, Bob Harris was at DC when Batman Who Laughs was introduced and then became everywhere, omnipresent. Bob Harris, if I'm not mistaken, was at Marvel during the 90s when they did that with Punisher, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, Spider-Man. die cut covers chromium. So maybe there's a connection there.
Hey, maybe it's everything but what's on the inside of the comic book that's making people leave. Yeah, and Tevi is agreeing. He's saying I hated Hell Arisen. It was so bad. So I got to tell you something. So far, we're 2-1 on this list, I think, as far as agreeing with CBR of all things.
Oh, can I sneak in real quick? Because I was booting up when I heard you talk about 0 Hour.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that made 0 Hour so good. Hang on.
It's the president calling him.
I can't do anything with this. And it's all, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to have to jump right back off. The best part of 0 Hour were the tie-ins. Like, remember the Shadow of the Bat with the fat Alfred? You know,
all the zero issues of everything.
Those were cool.
Yeah.
The event itself, I'm with you. I don't really remember it.
We were introduced to the best Dr. Fate in the entire DC universe. Probably the best character, and that would be Jared. What's his name?
Jared Stevens.
So good, his magic leapt off the page and made me.
He was so good that Doctor Strange started playing children's birthday parties as a result.
There you go. Yes.
watch the replay, Dalton. Ha!
By the way, I do have the first appearance on a comic book origins. I did a comic book origins of what was his name? Jared Stevens or something like that. Yeah. Okay. But yes, it was not good.
Sorry for wasting like 3 minutes of your time, but I got
not at all, man.
Call. So if you guys are still going when I get done, I'll be back.
We probably will.
See you later,
all right. See you guys.
He jumps on, does an insult, and leaves.
Yep.
There you go. Okay, so number 7, Death Metal pulls another bait and switch, but made the DC multiverse stronger than ever. Can we just call it a universe? What I got to tell you, I'm already sick of multiverses. The seeds planted by Hell Arisen would bear fruit in Death Metal by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. After almost 2 years of setting up Perpetua as the big bad, Death Metal again made it the Batman who laughs, having him gain godlike powers and killing Perpetua halfway through the book. Death Metal isn't a bad book, but it just doesn't feel right, especially with how Perpetua was being built up since her debut in Snyder's Justice League. While the book has brought some great things in its aftermath, the story itself is kind of a letdown. Never read it, and I don't feel like I did read the first issue, and I thought the first issue sucked, so I never picked it up again.
I read some of the tie-ins, which were pretty much just what ifs. Pretty much.
Now this is the second one they're talking about.
Yeah,
they're not talking about the first one. Which I actually have on the thumbnail. They're talking about the second one. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change that, by the way. Once again, they weren't talking about that, you son of a bitch. I love trolling people who comment without watching the video. So
yeah, there was Death Metal, and then there was another Dark Knight or Death Metal or something.
Yeah. Dark Knight Death Metal. Yeah, this was. I read the first issue of this, and I'm done. I was like, no, this sucks. I'm out. My
Justice League Odyssey book, which is really awesome, got thrown into this because it was going on. So as soon as they were done, it came back, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, now they're all Death Metal part. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, it's the Hawkman by Venditti that we love got sucked into the Death Metal storyline here. This one. Yeah, they actually Venditti was actually able to work with it. It wasn't bad.
As Trivia is bringing up, Death Metal Speedo was a fantastic. Give Wally West back as a Flash. We got to see where Wally was hiding out. He basically hid inside a blank, like a blank page. It's where that's where he was hiding. I guess he had all this special energy that he just got. Point where he's like, okay, this is dumb. The only thing that was cool about it is I got to see all the speedsters, like Max Mercury and all that stuff, and all the whole Flash family. That's what I liked about it. Flashpoint was a spinoff from this, which was really good because you got to see what if Barry had died when he gets struck by lightning and not come back.
Okay.
Powers. So I thought that was cool.
Maranya is saying Death Metal cemented my dislike of Batman with its oversaturation and overpromotion of Batman being central to the DC universe. Forget Superman. The one who created the superhero genre. That's his best. Yep. All right. Let's see. What is number 6?
Tell you the best.
Identity Crisis changed the way people looked at the Justice League's past, but committed a lot of sins. Identity Crisis, written by Brad Meltzer and Rags Morales, or an artist, Rags Morales, has a complicated legacy. On the one hand, the art characterizations are top-notch, and the Justice League mind wipes recontextualized the adventures of the Silver Age. Beyond that, the book has a problem with its treatment of Sue Dibney, brutalizing and killing her. Then there's the central mystery. The reveal of Jean Loring as the killer makes sense from a motive standpoint, but going over the evidence, she's just not a great killer. The book has some definite standout moments, but so much of its central conceit just doesn't work very well. CBR, you got this one wrong. And I'll tell you why. Jean Loring wasn't supposed to be a good killer. She wasn't supposed to kill Sue Dibney in the book. She was just trying to scare her, knock her out, and then people would think that they were being attacked. But unfortunately, she ended up killing her. So you're wrong. You don't get it as far as that's concerned. So CBR dropped the ball on this one. However, Identity Crisis, I don't know if that holds up, in all honesty. Whenever I remember it for the things that I don't care for more than the things I do. Like, there's some things in here I like, but burning Sue Dibney to a crisp was ridiculous. She's a beloved character to those who know her. If you are a fan of the Elongated Man, and yes, he's been in comics, you like Sue Dibney. Sue Dibney, by every metric of comic book fandom, was just a nice character. She was a good person to be around. Then you have the battle with Deathstroke, where in the span of a few seconds, Deathstroke the Terminator takes out the entire Justice League. That's what's going on. In just a couple of seconds, he clicks a bomb, taking out the Flash with a sword to the back, which I'm thinking, nope, that's not how the Flash would work, because he would see the explosions coming up. So he would be able to go around them and then knock Deathstroke around for a few hours before Deathstroke even knew he was being hit.
And even then, it's like he feels like everyone else except for Batman, because Batman's pretty much almost slightly better than him, than Deathstroke.
Everybody does. That's one of the reasons why also his next one was him jumping over the rest of the team, taking out Zatanna, because all she has to do is say stop and the entire thing stops. So it was a ridiculous way to show how badass Deathstroke is. But in doing so, you kind of made the Justice League look like
just like Nerf.
Yeah, Nerf. That's a good word, Nerf. Okay. Yeah, so there are reasons I don't like Identity Crisis, but I think the reasons that CBR said are wrong. What do you have to say?
I'm just glad they rebooted it for 2021, with Tim and John, and everybody's having Identity Crisis now.
Right. Okay, number 5, Heroes in Crisis set up Wally West for his role in Things to Come, but no one was happy about it. I don't think anybody's going to say that CBR got this one wrong. I don't think there's anybody going to go, you know what, Heroes in Crisis was a good book, and I don't think.
I'm sorry, this never happened. King doesn't exist. He doesn't write books.
Okay. So they say
it was retconned twice by 2 different people.
They say Heroes in Crisis by Tom King and Clay Mann and Mitch Gerards is better than it gets credited for. No, it isn't. For when it's not engaging with its central mystery, King writes superhero psychology better than anyone else, and the art by Mann and Gerards is top notch. That is true. That is true. The art is incredible. The problem is the central murder mystery. The murder mystery makes some missteps in a lot of places, but the biggest is having Wally West as the killer. Fans love Wally, and having him back meant a lot to him. Casting him as a murderer, even accidentally, was a grave misuse of the character, and while it set him up for the next phase of his life, it was a mistake. I think the only thing they got wrong there is it's a huge mistake. That was a horrible, horrible book. Not only for the central mystery, just like the Deathstroke thing, Harley Quinn took out Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Harley Quinn.
Makes sense.
took out Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
She's unpredictable, just like how Deadpool can take on Taskmaster easily.
Harley Quinn took out Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. I can't emphasize that. You cannot emphasize that as much as it needs to be done. That book was a bunch of suck. Beautiful looking. It really was a great looking book, but god dang, the story was horrible. Hey, Nolan Nerd, what's up?
Well, speaking of which, the crisis.
Heroes in Crisis belongs in the trash can, says to Hillam. What was the crisis that the heroes were in? Were drugs involved? Only if you wanted to read it, Rhaegar.
Yeah, I agree. The art was great. We got to see a very good-looking Batgirl.
Yeah. Dr. Chris is saying Identity Crisis played a major role in setting up Infinite Crisis. For that alone, it's forgiven of many of its sins. But that's what we're talking about. This is a list of important DC comics that suck. So these might have something that happens in them that's just absolutely necessary to the way the universe of DC is run.
Yeah.
But the story just isn't all that great. We've agreed with some so far. We've disagreed. I think we're going about 50-50, maybe actually a little bit more. In
Hero Crisis was not needed. I don't care what you guys say.
No. Nobody is backing Heroes in Crisis.
I'm sure there are some people still out there like says
not in our comments section.
Because
all right, 2018, The Man of Steel put the Superman family on their current road, but the book itself has problems. No. Once again, CBR, you got it wrong right in the title. 2018, The Man of Steel put the family on their current road. Done. That's all you got to say. That's it. It isn't but the book has problems. It caused the book's problems. That's why we keep saying Brian Michael Bendis sucks, because he just freaking ruined. Tomasi was writing the greatest run of Superman in 25 years.
Yeah.
Easily. And Brian Michael Bendis comes in and just destroys the core of the Superman family. So what they have to say is Brian Michael Bendis coming to DC was a big deal, and his first book, The Man of Steel, with artist Ivan Reyes, Jason Fabok, even Doc Shaner, Steve Rude, Ryan Sook, and Adam Hughes dropped lots of its changes on the Superman status quo. Lois and John left Earth with Jor-El, new villain Rogal Zar, Reader's ugly head, and the secret that was revealed was that the Krypton didn't blow up because of stuff that Kryptonians did. It was assassinated by Rogal Zar. One more thing that Brian Michael Bendis this book led directly to John Kent being aged up. Another bad thing. A hugely important happening in Superman's eventual reveal of his identity, but the story itself is hit or miss. No, it's miss. 100% miss. Look, I understand that art is subjective, but this is not subjective. This book sucked. The execution is good, but Rogar Zar is not a great villain, and the Krypton stuff was very important wasn't very important in the long run, is what they say. Okay, I went on my soapbox. The Germans bombed Pearl Harbor, as Eric likes to say. Do you have a take on this?
These are all books written by people who should have been fired a long time ago.
He should never have gone. No, not even.
I thought that was Deathlock at first.
Man of Steel Bendis belongs in the trash, says to Hillam. Let's see. It's like Ant-Man beating up Thanos, Galactus. Yeah, exactly, Rhaegar. Yeah, it's Harley Quinn shouldn't have done that. I hated Bendis' Superman. It ruined everything with the Superman family, says Tevia. So you're not saying send your Heroes in Crisis for the auction. Got it. And I don't think it would sell here. Bendis destroyed my boy John Samuel Kent, says Tevia. Yep. CBR stopped sucking up to Bendis. Rhaegar is saying, I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. Probably Brian Michael Bendis. Let's see. Tevia saying, I hate Bendis' Man of Steel for ruining my boy John Kent. Yeah. And not only was he doing a great run, Tomasi, on Superman, but the Super Sons was amazing as well.
Yeah, it says a lot about the people when you age them up and then you fool around their sexuality.
Well, once again, like I said, the fact that they made John Kent gay does not bother me. We didn't know about him in the first place. It's not like Robin, who had 32 years of thought bubbles that told us he was heterosexual, being retconned.
It's the way they did it, though.
With John Kent, I think the more interesting story would to have a Superboy that aged gradually, and we found out gradually.
Yes.
I think that would have been such a deeper story.
It's the aging up. That's what I don't like.
Yeah. All righty. Even Jurgen's Action Comics were good, says Tehillim, and I absolutely agree. Let's see what number 3 is here.
I don't want to go anymore.
Doomsday Clock.
Oh, I told you.
Doomsday Clock answered a lot of questions, but it got left behind by events. Doomsday Clock writer Jeff Johns and Gary Frank is one of the biggest missed opportunities in modern DC. Johns set up a lot of in DC's Rebirth #1, and this book was supposed to be the payoff to all of that.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 problems with it. The book's delays made it so many of the reveals didn't matter, and the writing wasn't great. And I this is another one I'm going to agree with him. John tried to ape Moore's style on the Watchmen and failed miserably. The first half of the book is too slow, and so much of it doesn't matter to the end. The second half has some great stuff, but the toothlessness of everything hurts the book so much. None of it really mattered in the long run. I dropped it at issue number 4. No, that's not true. I did pick up issue number 5, but by that time I realized I didn't care.
I dropped it at issue 1. When I picked it up, I put it back on the shelf.
Ah, okay. So this wasn't for you at all, huh?
The main Rebirth thing, I read that for the Flash, and Batman Beyond. But beyond that, I hate Watchmen. So I think that I don't anything that's to do with Dr. Manhattan. No, thank you. Unless it's Dr. Manhattan going against Superman.
I don't know if it happened. In all honesty, I don't care. Sometimes I think, I think I'll read through Doomsday Clock. I'll check that out, see if it's any. Nope, I can't do it. I cannot do it. Technically, Bendis was grooming John. Basically, hey, Marshall Lewis, how you doing?
Doomsday Clock should be like a Legion of Doom, plot. No, it's Doomsday Clock in here. They're gonna set up the Doomsday device. That's what I think when I think of Doomsday Clock. Old school villain gonna end the world.
Well, Tevia says Doomsday Clock is freaking fantastic. Let's see. Tehillim says Doomsday Clock removed the Didio interference. It was good. False, the writing was great, says Almighty Jack. Sounds like Doomsday Croc, says Glensner. Let's see. I'm glad Doomsday Clock retconned Didio's influence. I wouldn't know. Like I said, I dropped it I got tired of the weights.
Well,
by the time it came out, I was like, do I even remember what happened in the last issue? So
my question was, Doomsday even in this?
So anyway,
why is it clock important?
Number 2, The Final Night has an important ending, but that's pretty much it. The Final Night by writer Carl Kessel and art by Stuart Immonen is a weird book, basically a superhero disaster movie. It sees the heroes of Earth trying to deal with the sun being snuffed out by a sun eater and failing at every turn. There's no real central villain except for the creeping extinction, and it's just kind of slow. The ending is important as it represents Hal Jordan's first steps back to heroism after Emerald Twilight. But other than that and the seeds of Oliver Queen's resurrection in the year 2000, the story doesn't really have anything important happening and can be boring. I got to disagree with this one. I kind of like this story.
Well, based on that cover alone, it's like a great advertisement for superhero jackets.
Right. It is exactly what they said. There's no central villain. Lex Luthor steps up as a hero in this one. I kind of liked it. I also, and once again, much like what Eric said, I do not remember where I was going with this train of thought.
I do like the fact that only Kyle and Donna, or not Diana, are the only ones who aren't freezing. Even Clark's freezing. I'm like, how is Clark? He's a Kryptonian.
Yeah. Okay, here's what I was going to say. I liked the crossovers I liked it because it did go off into all of the regular books. I liked those crossovers because, of course, they were dealing with the snow and everything, but also they would bring in villains that maybe weren't the usual because of the situation.
So was it like the Casket of Ancient Wonders during a certain Casket of Ancient Wonders story in Marvel when Thor was going at during the Surtur saga? He had to deal with it was released.
Well, yeah, it was pulled when it wasn't supposed to be. So yeah, Doomsday Clock universe. Instead, we get Gay John Kent, says Almighty Jack. DC tries to constantly put lipstick on a pig by using amazing artists on garbage tier writing stories. Well, that's all they got nowadays. What was it? Somebody actually said that Vita Ayala is the GOAT of comic book writing. Come on, if that's what they're thinking, we're kind of doomed for all of this. So
where's the T-Rex when needed?
One thing most of these stories have going for them is good art, but since I'm an artist, maybe I put too much emphasis on that. I've always been a writing person myself. To me, the art gets me in the room. The writing keeps me there. So I'm very curious what their number one would be as far as what would they say is the number one? It's important, but not very good. I can't imagine they would put Infinite Crisis on there because that's actually good. And they would be dumb as hell to put Crisis on Infinite Earths. So I don't know.
Blackest Night.
Let's see. Oh, maybe. Okay, let's see. Flash Rebirth is just blatant Barry Allen worship. Holy Toledo. Okay.
Wow, they're triggered. I
know. Wow. Flash Rebirth by Jeff Johns and Ethan Van Sciver is a strange beast. On one hand, it fits in the mold of Johns and Sciver created in Green Lantern Rebirth, the Silver Age hero and his biggest villain return. He reunites with his heroic descendants, and they defeat said villain. But on the other hand, it's just such blatant Barry Allen worship, it's almost not entertaining. For readers who never read the Barry story, it just felt weird for him to suddenly be the best at everything. If one is going to read a Barry Allen story afterward, it's important, but calling it good is a road too far. I gotta tell you, I agree on this one too. Actually, CBR got most right than wrong on this one, because to me, one thing, I thought it was a horrible idea for them to bring back Barry Allen. I thought he was a better character actually dead than alive. He was a better martyr and a better influence than he was an actual character.
I agree with my Jack. CBR just really hates Jeff Johns stories.
Apparently, yeah. I did notice I said written by Jeff Johns quite a bit here tonight. So
Barry coming back alive was dumb, but like not all his stories been bad with Barry.
Yeah. Well, this will be a video on the Comic Writers Press Secrets tomorrow. Well, sorry. Hey, I never say anything about the art, which I will always stand by. I think the man's a good artist. So, but yeah, I didn't care for the story either. But I didn't like it from Get. In all honesty, I didn't think they needed to bring back Hal Jordan at the time. But also, I didn't think they definitely didn't need to bring back Barry Allen.
I grew up with Wally West. Barry was dead. So I mean, starting with the cartoons, which really got me into comic books. And then going into the stuff, I was like, Wally's in there. It's like there's no Barry, and then they bring Barry back, and then all of a sudden it's like Wally is just kind of shelved again, and then he's shelved even more after they bring in Wallace.
And that was part of the problem I had with this, more than the Green Lantern, even because at this point Kyle Rayner was nearly about, I don't know, almost 10 years being Green Lantern, but the Flash, Wally West was the Flash for 20 something years.
Yep. Since 87. Yeah.
It was 87 to, I think, what 20, when was it? 2004, 2000 something. I know it was in the early to mid
2010, maybe. I'll look that for up.
Okay. So we're talking about 15 years or so. It's still a long damn time. Maybe 15, 20 years. I don't know when this was put out. I forget. But dang, people only knew Wally West. It was a generational thing. Personally, Wally West should stay as the Flash, and I'm glad Wally West is back on the Flash, says Tevia.
That's the thing that you talk about too. Is now Wally's back being Flash, Ben Reilly's back to being Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Who's coming back to be Batman? Nightwing.
Bruce Wayne should be Batman, and he should be in Gotham City.
No,
tell me you don't know about the Batman character without telling me you don't know about the Batman character. Move them from Gotham.
They're just tired of the. Everybody, it's just brand new. Everyone's always done the Batman in Gotham. We're gonna have Batman outside of Gotham.
Yep.
Yeah. I want Vegas City Batman going against the casino. There is casino. Well, I mean, what was it? Enter the Dragon when they had with Richard Dragon, that the anime movie. They had him.
It was actually pretty good.
He wasn't in Gotham.
That's true, but he lived in Gotham. He just.
I know.
This is, yeah. Even in Night, what was it? No Man's Land. He wasn't in Gotham to the point where he wasn't in Gotham when they shut it down.
Yeah, the only bad
but
thing
he
is
lived in Gotham.
Yeah.
Batman doesn't move away from Gotham. And frankly, he should go beat the shit out of the Fox family and get his money back.
I mean, yeah, he's broke right now. How can he even afford to leave Gotham? Where is he going to stay?
Yeah. Joshua Williams, having Batman leave Gotham is the only way to save Bruce from I'm not Batman.
Where is Bruce Wayne staying? In a shelter home.
By the way, I did a review for Batman the Imposter 1 and 2. Both of them are up on Old Man Comics, so please check them out. Just dropped a review for Wonder Woman Evolution that came out this week. And tomorrow will be a review of the first issue of The Thing. So they're just quick 2-minute videos. Just get out the opinion and everything.
Yeah, not to be confused with the John Carpenter movie.
Yeah, right. Yes, this is the ever-loving blue-eyed thing book that came out. So, yeah.
And Batman the Imposter is Batman. He's being framed by Jace Fox.
Yeah, something like that. Anyone excited about Multiverse is a free-to-play fighting game such Smash Brothers style with all WB owned? That might be fun. I mean, for a fighting game or something, yeah. Azrael being Batman makes more sense than I am not Batman.
Smash Brothers Batman.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with DC Comics, man. It seems they want to fail.
Just give me an open world where I don't have to be like next to the person. I can be like on the other side of like Gotham City, and you're over there. We're doing other missions, but we can meet up and just do a co-op mission then.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Grand Theft Auto is Multiverse. You know when you play in.
Yeah, I would like to see a couple of pages in some book where you have two heroes meeting up and saying, "Oh, wow, yeah, I'm in this building for the Johnson murders. You? No? Oh, okay. Well, I thought we would team up, but nope. All right. If you hear any explosions, that's my power. Just chill, okay? I would like to see that kind of thing because with how many heroes are in New York, that would happen.
That's what I've always thought about New York. It's like it's. Well, the Avengers have their tower there. I'm like, so does the Baxter Building, the Fantastic Four. I'm sure Spider-Man's there. I mean, we have Daredevil. We have Heroes for Hire. Mm-hmm. We have all these heroes. There shouldn't be any crime. If you guys are
He's the hero of Hell's Kitchen. Which one? I mean, it's not like Gotham. Batman is the protector of Gotham.
Did you read the latest issue?
That is huge. That is huge. So, okay, yeah, you can go around and not. But when you're talking about Hell's Kitchen, are you really talking about like a New York size? No, you're talking about a few blocks or so. He says, showing his ignorance of New York. No, I haven't read Batman in a long time.
Well, Tinian just wrapped up his final issue. This came out this week or last week, and wrapped it up. Ivy's now whole again. She was really split into two people. The good part was kept away when she revived. She was just a shell. So now she's now whole again. And at the end of it, when she accepted the other good Ivy into her, she kissed Harley, and now they're lovers again. It's all good,
Of course.
Everyone's happy.
Women cannot be friends.
And
these days, men can't either.
And get this. In order to defeat the Miracle Molly girl, because she was going to detonate the bomb, the Scarecrow's bomb, you know, and Bruce is like, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen, you know, but we can get through this together. He's like, oh, you know why? Because I'm Bruce Wayne. He pulled the Barry Allen thing from Flash. Just take off his mask and do just like, I'm Bruce Wayne. It's like, what are you doing? That's the new and everyone's Clark Kent does that. Superman. I'm Clark Kent. Everyone's gonna start showing their identity, you know, who they are. Just, you know, we're all paragons of heart now. It's like bad CW writing is infecting this.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah, that is absolutely horrible. I haven't read it, but it's kind of funny how the villains target New York. Hello, McFly, attack some other cities. Yeah, they're
right. What do you go to Oklahoma? Go somewhere else. You know, go where there's no heroes. You know,
Nice Shoes want to do it. Male friends in DC Comics these days. Yeah, I play the hell of a ragman in that game. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I like the idea of that. I tried playing that DC Universe online game. You know, you actually create your own hero, but you can't play any of the heroes. I couldn't get past that first freaking spaceship, and then when I could, but it took me forever and a day. And when I did, it's like pick a mission, and then I picked a mission. And you're gonna get your ass kicked because you're not level up enough for this. So how the you? I've got this.
Please don't ever use level up again.
I've got
Flash triggered me with that.
I got this rule now that if a game doesn't want me to play it, I won't play it. It's very simple, and that's the way I felt about it. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, the Flash actually got some decent ratings this week. The first episode. Why? Because Barry was all to be the Flash. There was no Team Flash.
Oh, it's just Barry, huh?
He handled the Royal Flash King all by himself.
I want to see that episode. I've been waiting to see. I saw a clip.
It's really good.
A clip, and I kind of liked it, because I did see. I guess they spoiled it for me, but I did see one where she says, "I could read your mind." I'm like, he moves faster than thought. What is she gonna do?
Well,
and of course, that's exactly what he did. He moved faster than she could think.
Yep.
Glenzer is saying if we take off our glasses, no one will recognize us. If I take off my glasses, you'll see the deep pits in my eyes and the fact that I look 50 years older than I actually am. That's see.
I got rid of my beard now. Look, I'm 15 years old again.
Yep, you look younger, and I look older when I take off my glasses. I don't know. I haven't read Batman though since they came. I think the first or second issue after they came back from Future State.
I've been dipping in here and there just to get caught up. They're not really worth the money, you know.
Yeah, the money.
I mean, if they were
a pirate's life for me.
If these books were $2.99, I could see probably spending the money on these books, even though they're bad stories. They're average stories, the most. They're not horrible. They're average. They're nothing like what they were in the 90s. I guarantee that. Even in the early 2000s. I think Doom 52 is where they just pretty much forgot how to write Batman stuff, you know, because Capullo is a good artist. Scott Snyder wrote a good story up until the very end, and then it just sucked. Those last 2 volumes, when I got the sunflower villain, I was like, no, cut.
I've got all these new comics, and I'm like so hesitant to read them now. I'm just, I don't know. Oh, I picked up 3 trades for prizes for the again. I picked up JSA Classified. They were going to be I got Deadpool versus Gambit, and this is Punisher, the Platoon. So they'll be on. They'll either be in the. Say again.
Who's the writer on Platoon on the Punisher?
Garth Ennis.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So
instant sale at the auction.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if you guys do not like Garth Ennis, then you guys do not like good books.
No, I'm 51 now.
You're supposed to say 41.
Since July 29th, I turned 51 on July 29th. Yeah, but there you go.
His inner child turned 13.
Yeah, something like that.
Deadpool and Gambit was kind of weird. That was them two fighting over each other in this, and that was right after, like, Actually, that was Mr. and Mrs. X was after like Rogue and Gambit like had I'm sorry, Rogue and Deadpool had a thing, and that's how bad Marvel got. Deadpool trying to hook up with the Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Gross, bad writing.
Yep. All right, I think that's pretty much.
Do you ever come across Spider-Man and Deadpool? Really? Well, you don't. Go over. Spider-Man and Deadpool in the same book, or are you talking about just?
Yeah, there's a title called Spider-Man Deadpool. If I did, I would get him. Trusty Sidekick, by the way, was the one who I remember last night. I was like, I don't know. I think Jim Sorensen was asked me for the Night Force. I placed him out. It was Trusty, and he did send a message saying that he needed like 2, 3, and 4. So I got him for him, and I forgot who it was. So
you
sorry.
snooze, you lose.
Venkman looks 12 without the glasses, and apparently I look 40. So congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Ooh. Okay, I've got a story. We're gonna close on this one because it's always fun to laugh at the fat guy. By the way, I'm not. And I know I'm heavy. I weigh around 250 at this point. I do need to lose the weight. We haven't gotten a mattress yet, me and Gail. So she's still sleeping on the one she had, and I've been on an air mattress because apparently that's what the husbands do. She gets the comfort, I get the air mattress. And I got up last night. You guys know I was real tired. So after the auction, I just laid down, boom, out like a freaking light. Woke up this morning needing to use the restroom, go to the restroom, come back, and I don't throw myself on the bed. I put my knee down, climb in, and I kind of flop. And when I flopped, I popped two of the bubbles on this air mattress, causing all of the air to move into the center of it, and it just kind of popped me right back up. So it was this big bow thing. And I was like, oh, good. It was the most uncomfortable. I was so tired now because I couldn't sleep on this goddamn air mattress thing. And I thought, you know what? Fat Man Pop's air mattress is going to make for a good story on the live stream.
Now you can be an authentic sloth by sleeping.
I know, right? I know, right? I had to bring it in.
Mattress.
All righty, so let's see.
It's a brand new mattress.
I know, right? Yeah, I didn't plan on spending $15 on another.
That was my sister and my brother. We went up to 10 years ago. We went up north and got a hotel. We got a big multi-room, put all the kids stuff, and then we bought an air mattress. It popped the first day.
Yeah, that did happen to a smaller one. Like when I'm boxing up, some of you know if you get the comics in the bag, I put cardboard on either side, make sure that they're sturdy. And so I'll sit on the bed watching TV and I'll be cutting up everything. And one day instead of putting the scissors away, I put them on a book next to me.
No.
And I was doing something, forgot they were there.
You rolled over?
Yeah, it was just, oh, fudge. Yeah. Okay.
So it's like being those rafts on the water, and all of a sudden you pop it. It's like,
yeah, because the air mattress kind of folds around you at that point, since you're the heaviest thing on, or at least I am anyway. It's so like I sink in the middle quicker, and everything just goes. There was one where I guess I had a slow leak because I woke up in the morning and it was almost wrapped around me like a cocoon. Like I freaking hate air mattresses. It's like once a month I've got a freaking.
I can't do it because it's always where my ass is it sinks down, and I'm in a taco.
Yeah. It's just because you're writing something, it just goes. Yeah, it's really bad. Is not your wife supposed to be with you when you break the bed? Not preferably. Yeah, that would be, but then again, that's also something like 20 years ago. Now we're afraid we'll break a hip.
And the bed.
Yeah. There's
They
a
have those.
line.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say they have those fold-out cots, the ones for
Mhm.
camping. They almost look like iron boards. You need to sit on.
Yeah, there's nothing good in that sentence. not to my 50-year-old back. Yeah. But yeah, kind of thing happens. There's a line in a really bad movie called Harlem Nights where Richard Pryor's with his lady. I forgot. She was somebody famous too, but unfortunately the name escapes me. And she's like, "Oh, we're going to do it all night long. And then we're going to do it again." And he's like, "How about we just do it really hard for 20 minutes?" It's like, yeah, that's what it gets.
Yeah, then I'll sleep.
Right? Yeah, and then we sleep a long time. Yeah.
In Disguise Brings, yeah, get that yellow foam, the memory foam.
The memory foam.
Good. And you can just stack it up and then lay on that.
Well, I was going to get the pad. I don't know where would I buy that yellow foam there. Oh no.
At a mattress supply store.
All righty. Well, let's see. Should we I don't know if there's any topics going on.
There was a Spider-Man trailer we never covered.
Yeah, we talked about that kind of stuff. Rob Liefeld introduced the movie accurate domino to Deadpool's reality. Batman villain may have just killed Mr. Freeze in Task Force Z. Okay. Oh, I didn't go to the comic shop and pick up new books. I got to tell you something, man. I'm starting. I listened to Nightwolf's video. I think it was pretty cool. Venom Marvel fans debut incredible gender swapped null cosplay. Can't tell you that I find any of that any kind of, oh my gosh, they're gender swapping. Isn't that awesome or anything like that? No, I've been there, done that.
That was the thing a lot of people were making fun of the Jimmy Fox is like, new Electro suit. He's got the costume. He's going, yeah. But he's still wearing the lugs, the boots.
Yeah, doesn't bother me at all. We're talking about EMAM killing our mattresses. Right. What is up, people? Is Black Cat's here. Howdy do. How about we do it really hard until the pizza gets here? Actually, that has been. I mean, I remember a couple of days like that. I should not be telling this. Gail does have limits on what I'm allowed to talk about. But yeah, just say that when you know how to do it, you don't need a long time. Hey, the commercial's on, huh? Okay, yeah. Let's see. Wisconsin Red Ford drove through the. You know what? I didn't know if I wanted to bring up anything like that. The one thing that's bothering me about that is all the dickheads that don't know what they're talking about, trying to compare it to Kyle Rittenhouse. Oh, he'll just get self-defense. You're a moron. If that's your go-to, you're a freaking moron. But yeah, I saw that. Have any female characters been gender swapped to male? No, and not a lot of black characters get turned into a white guy either. Yeah. Well, anyway, kids, we should call it here. Thanks for hanging out with us while we talk about the 10 DC comics that were important, but maybe not all that great. I think CBR actually didn't do too poorly here. And there you go. What are you staring at?
I am staring at DC possibly repeating the death of Superman to make Jonathan Kent permanent replacement for Clark. This is from Bounty in the Comics.
That's a whole other video by itself. All right, kids. Once again, thanks for hanging out with us, and hello to BM. Yeah, we're getting an audience now.
Well, it's Sunday night. We have 15 people in it, and we're talking about comic books.
Yeah, I know.
What's on? What, Walking Dead and not Walking Dead?
Wait, is Walking Dead back on? I hate this freaking thing. Oh, we need a vacation. Man, back in my day, a show would have 24 episodes and it would go all freaking year.
It's Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead Beyond.
Yeah.
There's a lot of zombie shows on right now. Even Day of the Dead just came out as on Friday nights, which is a horribly badly acted show, but it's great.
Ah, okay. Oh, I haven't. Speaking of horribly bad acted shows that are great, I have not finished Cowboy Bebop.
I watched the second episode. They redid the whole Teddy thing. Villain guy who pulls up teddy bears.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
And for the second episode, the villain.
I don't remember who you're talking. I told you I wasn't exactly thrilled by this show. I don't think it sucks. I just don't think it's anything, you know. Anyway, time for the Love Boat channel. The Love Boat.
Did you watch it while you're suffering from your onion?
Oh, you told them you were going to be on Comic Book Jeopardy, says Spider-Man, but they would have been an hour late, an hour and a half late. It would have been over. But yes, I want to play Comic Book Jeopardy. I do, but we didn't have players tonight, so we had to come up with something else to do. Content is king.
The Timeless Wheel, whatever. Yeah, that show, Wheel of Time, or what it's called. The one that's on the show on Amazon.
Yeah.
Looks like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to check it out.
There's an evil force presence coming in, and only one person can stop it. Okay, cool.
Well, that world is fucked. What if he has to? What if he has plans that night?
Yeah, I need to catch up on my shows on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm streaming Lost. Yeah, I know it's the 5th time, but I still don't understand that.
I'm doing my damn comic book auction.
White Lightning would have what type of power? I didn't mind it. Look, it's
the Burt Reynolds movie
based on a. I know White Lightning was actually pretty good. I don't know. It didn't bother me. I'm not somebody who looks at something and goes, "Oh, you know." Yeah, it looked kind of cool. I like the fact that they tried to add in the costume. Sure, they're going to try to make it their own a little bit, but yeah.
There's a new show that's supposed to be coming out on the 23rd. Oh yeah,
BM saying he's always late. So am I.
You know what's coming out on the 23rd?
Yeah, isn't that Hawkeye?
No, well, no, just not. I'm talking about Netflix. A show that triggered so many people who probably don't even care about this series, and that's He-Man Revelations Part 2.
Oh. No,
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just waiting for all things. Oh, I hate this show. I hate this show. Like there hasn't been anything since it finished. You know, dropped. You know, it's been a couple months now since July. Now it's just gonna start up again. The people come on the woodworks. Oh, I hate this show. It's like, okay, well, we heard you the first time.
Almighty Jack, did they ever do an amalgam? I think they might have an amalgam called Sergeant Rock Fury. That would, I think they should have. If they haven't, they should.
They should have called it Fury Rock.
I don't know about that. I did not, however, watch He-Man. I had no interest in it.
I watched it, and I gotta say, it's a lot better than the original 80s freaking crappy cartoon.
BM saying my father and I actually like He-Man. It's not my cup of tea. So God bless you if you like it or not. I'm not one of the people who are like, oh, he ruined my childhood. He was never part of my childhood. So
yeah, it's part 1 of a 2-part story. So if you are freaking out over the first part without even watching the second part,
yeah,
it's like watching half. It's like watching half a movie and be like, oh, I hate this movie. I stopped watching it, and then like they don't even know if it got better in the second movie.
Okay, here's a question. We'll keep the live stream going for a little bit since we're talking about things. Here's a question for you and for the chat. Now, I just admitted He-Man was after my time. I don't feel one way or the other about it. Same with Transformers and G.I. Joe. It was just after my cartoon time.
You hit puberty, you're done.
Here's something. What is a big geek IP that you just missed? Not that you hate it, not that you have any moral, oh my gosh, the SJWs are coming or bullshit about that, like that or anything. Just something that I don't like it because I missed it. And at this point in time, it's just not my thing. Do you have anything like that? Because I know you're a little younger than I am even. And it might be something that you're too young for. Like maybe when I was a kid, the Super Friends cartoon was awesome. Somebody who was raised on the Deaniverse, would look at that and go, "How quaint!" You know,
I think they really ruined that show by having Aquaman riding a seahorse.
They definitely ruined Aquaman.
I mean, like anything apart from that, I watched some of the episodes and it wasn't that bad. It's just that Aquaman, it was just so uncomfortable to watch.
Rhaegar saying Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, I never watched. I chose not to watch because it just didn't hold my interest.
Yeah, it's just like I said, you don't have any anything moral against it. It's just not your cup of tea. So
I think that people who are obsessed over it are in a cult, but
Glenzer is mentioning the X-Files. That's another one that actually was going on when I was in my 20s. So in all honesty, we had 2 babies. I was working all the time. I watched it some, but I never got.
I was like 8 or 9.
Like Gail was more into it than I was. But the weird thing is, whenever I saw an episode of the X-Files, I liked it. It's just, never got into it. Robert's the X-Men cartoon. I was in my 20s when it came out, and I was too mature for the cartoons then. I
was like 8 or 9, and I think when X-Files was really big, like 94 and 93, and it came out. I was like, if I don't watch this, I'm like, oh look, Sliders, watch this.
Yeah. Nola is saying Power Rangers for him. So by the time the Power Rangers came out, I was like 25 or 26. I'm the second kid. So yeah,
I would agree. I would agree with BM though. Spectacular Spider-Man. I'd already seen the '90s one, and there's no way you could top that. And they still have to top it.
Trusty Sidekick is saying when Super Friends premiered, it was one of the best days of his life. I understand that. As definitely during of his childhood, not of his life.
He's like,
they'll be like, yeah, honey, it's the day we got married, the day our son was born, and the day the Super Friends aired. So,
but not in that order.
Not in that order. Yeah. That's funny. I got bored with Harry Potter by the 4th movie and could never even bother reading the book. See that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just something like there's no hate, there's no dislike. It's just. You missed it. That's it. You just missed it for some reason. The original He-Man was before my time, says Evil Black Cat. X-Men 97 is going to be woke crap. I have that feeling. Actually, I said that 4 days ago. I really should do a video about it. Didn't I say I was going to do a video? By God, tomorrow I'm going to do the video.
Talk about the director, the guys who do charge right now.
About what they're saying. I mentioned it before, and they're just proving it. What is that one DC cartoon, the really good one about the Justice League? It was called the Justice League. It had the Batman. It was called the Justice League.
It was called it was Justice League, and then Justice League Unlimited was the next 2 seasons. It was basically total 4.
The X-Men Green series. There was a X-Men Green series.
I know red and blue, gold. Or wasn't there?
Unpopular opinion: the X-Men original cartoon was not what. Well, that's absolutely true. One thing I will not allow them to do is backtrack the word woke in its meaning. Don't let them backtrack the word social justice warrior in its meaning. I know we're going to get into it a little bit here because I'm on my soapbox, but here's the thing. They're talking about social justice warrior being anybody who's for what they call now equity. No, social justice warrior is somebody who looks at you. If you are a white guy, you're only white. If you're a black guy, you are only black. There are no other characteristics from which you need to be related to by. That is the social justice warrior. But they're trying to reframe it as somebody who believes in equality. No, that's it. That's pretty much everybody. Let's face it. Let's be honest. Anytime I hear somebody say, oh, we need an honest conversation. Okay, here's the honest conversation. Most, and I mean 99.9% of the people in this country can't give a fuck about what color you are, what sex you are, or who you're banging. We don't care. 99.9% just don't care. We care that our rent is due on the 1st and that we have enough money in the bank to cover it. That is it. I am not about to address the fact that a person I'm buying a freaking Big Mac from is black or white. I'm not going to go, well, hello, Mr. Black Man Cashier. How are you doing today? Mm-hmm. Let me address your culture and your cultural woes. No, I'm going to say, give me a freaking which I would never actually buy a Big Mac. Give me a McRib. And that would be it. That is it. The only thing that I do acknowledge was the young lady that was at that was running the drive-thru tonight had a very pleasant voice. I didn't tell her because that would be creepy as for a 50-year-old man. Thank you for the big, pleasant voice.
It's more creepy for me when they're really chipper. Like, hey, how's it going? I'm like,
so I just stared at her. because that was less creepy.
And then you lick your lips because your lips are dry.
Yeah. Marvel Unlimited X-Men Infinity book. Yeah, I haven't checked.
I know that is purposely confusing. They did it on purpose to calling it 97 because most people don't realize it was what 94. So if you think, oh, the old X-Men cartoon from the 90s, they're like, oh, they're rebooting it. You know?
McRib, extra pickles, a little bit. They put way too much barbecue sauce on it this time.
Squeeze it, just drip sauce.
Oh, it wasn't even like that, but yeah, it was so bad. I did pick it up, and it was like, I was like, okay, it looks like my McRib is shitting. It was.
Well, I like it when your bread's all soggy because of so much sauce.
No,
it's like having white Wonder Bread. You know, it just turns into a ball.
What's it got to be white?
Because there's no such thing as.
I hear your dog whistling. No, yeah, I won't allow them in any conversation at all to get away with that crap anymore. I'm done. I'm done with their changing the language, and what happens is we end up going along with it. You have done it too. When was the last time you said pro-abortion? Now you say pro-choice, don't you? Well, what's the choice they're making? So, yeah, I don't change the. That was done by Bill Clinton, by the way, in the 90s.
I always say pro-choice. You know, yeah, I choose not to take the vaccine.
Let's see. Microsoft, when they did that stream recently, and the lady started off by naming her race, gender, and what she was wearing is the definition of the. Oh my gosh! Exactly right. Who cares? We could see.
Wait. Who's watching Microsoft streams?
Well, no, I've seen the clips. I haven't seen the stream, but I saw the clips.
That's the thing.
Not only did they say like, "Hi, my name is Englentine. I am a white man, he, him, and I am understanding my privilege as I am standing next to the beautiful Puerto Rico." Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I didn't mean that. Oh, that was sexual harassment. I'm now going to shoot myself in the head. No, I'm sorry, but they also talked about the land that they were on. We understand that the Microsoft offices are on the land of the Chippewa Indians, and the fact that, oh, shut up. Look, you want to go all the way? Tell me who the Chippewa Indians had to slaughter to get that land.
You're on the land of their Indians, and then give your land back to them.
You know what? When the poltergeists come, that's when you can talk to me about the little blonde girl. They're here. Then I'm gonna pay attention to the fact that your land is on.
I want her to come back at the adult version and to say they're here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there will be no adult Heather O'Rourke. That's the little girl from Poltergeist. Yeah, she unfortunately, I think she died. Of pneumonia. Yeah. In the 90s, if the 90s X-Men was woke, then it would be like current X-Men garbage comics. Yep. They completely made up the tribe they claimed the land was on. It doesn't even exist. I didn't recognize it. That's kind of funny that it didn't exist. So okay, I didn't know. When I was young, my dad. Okay. Give me just a moment. When I was young, my dad gave us a map of Indian territory, and he kind of explained the way, because it was like the Hiawassee. These are all Floridians, Seminole, and so forth. And Seminole controlled most of Florida. I was like, wow, they must have been big. He says, yeah, they killed all the others. And what they would do is they would war with other tribes, kill them, rape them, absorb the young into their tribes. Now, instead of being Apopka or Altamont Indians, they are now Seminole. That's what they did. So I don't buy into the whole we came over and slaughtered, blah, 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 yada, yada stuff. Sorry, RDV, going ahead.
I was just going to say that, the reason they, you can't confirm if they exist or not unless you get an expert. You got to get Elizabeth Warren in there to confirm.
Right, exactly, yes.
No, but
I don't know. When England team was young, the meteorite hit and killed the dinosaurs. Woman, you're older than me. So
I mean, people forget that scalping was a thing back then. It was a sport that killed the white men.
I got away. They were done with the shaving part. They couldn't get to the, that's. Oh, Yves. Oh, that's what we should be doing.
Scalping?
No, not scalping. No, it just occurred to me, you know, we should do an Indian character for
What?
Comic
Oh,
Book
oh yeah, indigenous
for Friday.
voices.
For Friday. Yeah, yeah, we'll do that. Ooh, first appearance of Turok.
Why not just do Dawnstar?
I think more people know Turok. Hey, look, I love Dawnstar. You know, I'm a Legion of Superheroes fan, but yeah, for the Friday reading, we should do one of the Indian
Thunderbird. Is that what his name is? I can't remember it, guys.
Yeah.
He could track things. He was on The Gifted. I don't know what his name is.
MK, that would be a 100% solid no. Never had a goatee, never got a tattoo. The goatee because I just didn't like, I don't like beards. And the tattoo because in my neighborhood, it was positive identification if you were a person of interest for the police. And so, in my opinion, you never wanted to help them. I had relatives that helped the out of them. So they had all these identifying markers on their body. But I believe that if you were going to cause mischief, you shouldn't make it easy on people to identify you. So I never got a tattoo. And that kind of carried over into adulthood. I just didn't like it to the point where Gail wanted to get a tattoo on her hand, making it look like a ring and all that kind of stuff. I was absolutely 100% against it. But yeah, I think I would be a little less now than I was back in the day.
Yeah, you should go for the mutton chops.
That would be a solid no, especially now since I'm bald and the mutton chops would just look, yeah.
Everybody thinks you're probably, if you're from Norway, you're a Viking.
Yeah.
You're tall. You're very, very pale.
I'm average. I'm not a tall guy. I'm average.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, you're still very, very pale.
Yes. Yeah. For living in Florida. Yeah. Because I'm one of the smart ones. It's because we're pale blue Scottish people. That's a horrible Scottish accent.
Because you're a vampire. You don't go outside.
Dominic just got back from watching Ghostbusters, loved it, and I'm willing to watch it again. All right, let's do that. Is it on one of the sites?
Actually, it is actually Cam. I didn't watch her watching it because I'm like, I already see it on theaters. But Thunderbird, John Proudstar, yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, okay, the X-Men guy. That his first appearance is in Giant Size X-Men. That's a big ass book to read through, but we would get a whole bunch more done.
By the time we actually got halfway through the book, we'll have more viewers watching.
Probably.
Look at notifications.
That tends to happen. Yeah, right. It's like, oh my gosh, we finally got the notification 2 hours in. You know,
I mean, Miss Fury, her book from the Golden Age is like 63 pages. So
that's one thing to do.
Yeah, I was looking at all those old, Project Superstar, superheroes, characters, from Dynamite, and what was it, Captain Terror or whatever it is? He's like a pirate thing. Yeah. Black Terror. Yeah. Looking up their stuff. And this doing any Golden Age stuff, heroes is fun.
Yeah. Go to a website called the Digital Comics Museum. It's a whole bunch of what do they call it? Public domain characters in comics. Yeah, I guess I could do that too, right? Look it up myself and share it so everybody knows what we're talking about.
There you go. Oh, you get the crate accounts?
Yeah, it's better if you do. It's incredible. It is absolutely incredible site. I love the
Black
site.
Cobra. There you go. That's cool.
There you go.
Ajax Farrell Publications, Giggle Comics, Joe Yank. There you go.
If you guys haven't visited this site before, I do recommend it. It goes through like here's Ace Magazines. It has all the big Golden Age publishers, Ajax Farrell, and all of these are public domain comics, so you can download them if you want. You can do whatever the hell with. You could clean them up and make a what do you call it?
Look at it.
What am I trying to say? A graphic novel of them or a trade paperback of them if you want.
They got Daredevil comics from the 1898. Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. That's the author, the writer. That's just he was born. I was like, damn.
I read a lot of comics from this. I read a lot of comics from here when I gave up on Marvel in DC for a while.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of cool stuff going on. There's a lot of neat books. Let me.
John Buscema was in this too, and Sid Shores, Bernard Kingstein. This is Wild Bill Pico's Westerner.
Pecos.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Wild Bill Pecos? Is that your okay? Pecos Bill?
Yeah, it's Wild Bill and then Pecos. But our publications 1945 to 1955. You keep scrolling down, you come across it.
Yeah. So if you like, or if you want to give a try to Golden Age comics, this is actually a pretty decent way to do it.
Crime Reporter, yeah. There's Pawnee Bill.
It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite websites, actually.
Billy the Kid.
No, wait a second. It's supposed to be. What am I looking at here?
I'm just scrolling down.
Yeah. As we are doing our own thing here and totally ignoring the audience.
There's people watching us. What's wrong with
I know, right? When did that happen?
We're at 20. We're just ignoring the chat.
I know, right? It seems the less
you read comments, the more people actually turn in.
The less engaged I am, the more people are interested.
It's like AMR, just it's like you turn on like anything that's to do with NASA when they go about the launch of the rocket. There's like 10,000 people just watching live viewing, and it's the most boring thing ever.
Here you go. This is a Golden Age Blue Beetle. I think I'm sharing it out now, right?
Yeah, next to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So they've got all these older and interesting books here. And to me, they're interesting anyway.
Charlton, yep. All the Charlton books.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So I highly recommend you check this site out. You're bound to find something cool on it. So, but that's one of my favorite.
Might as well.
Let's see. What is that? I don't know if I'll watch again. I took out a book once, The Superheroes or something, says Jado. Phoebe was adorable. Okay. They're talking about the Ghostbusters. I took out a boom once called Failed Superheroes or something to that effect. Interesting book on terrible superhero ideas. I got one in a, let me see if it's still around. I thought it was around here. I got one. It was in one of those book crate things. You remember how everybody was sending
book crates?
Yeah.
It was your old man showing book crates.
Book crate. I don't know. Remember. It was called Regrettable Superheroes. That's a lot of fun. It's the kind of thing I would like to do something like that. It'd be fun because there's all sorts of bad superheroes out there, bad comics and everything. Golden Age Blue Beetle looks kind of like the Phantom, says Glenzer, and I agree on that.
You know, it'd be really cool if we all did White Elephant community. Just saying, because since you have, I have your address, you have mine address, you know, you have Brains, I have Brains, and all forth. You know, just sending gifts back and forth for Christmas, and then one of us gets the White Elephant.
Okay. Yeah, I got a perfect White Elephant Christmas present. It's one that I got, as a matter of fact. Somebody bought for me the hardcover Ms. Marvel, the Kamala Khan Ms. Marvel.
Where's your PO box? Because we need to start sending you stuff.
Most people here have my address. So,
well, they do live with you.
Yeah, I got this. It was an Ollie's present, but somebody thought it would be something I would like. As you can see, it's still wrapped. But yeah.
You got to preserve that. It's going to be worth money.
Yeah, I hear they're making a TV show of her, but I got this for Christmas. So my sense of morality says I can't get rid of that because it was a gift. That's just the way I see things.
If you misplace it, does it count?
If I misplace it at your house?
I'm just saying if you forget that you got rid of it. Since you lose books all the time, so.
Yeah. There you go. That's the thumbnail.
It's like a little kid just wearing a scarf.
Well, I did get The Age of Ultron also, and I read that book, and I did a review on it on Old Man Comics. Now, a lot of times I go issue by issue, but this one I just held up the book and I did a review. So I got this book here, right? And this is, it's supposed to be the big omnibus kind of thing with all the stories in it. And I don't know why they did this, but the first like 6 or 8 issues, I don't remember how long the story was just the story. And then at the back of the book, they got the tie-ins. So like if Ms. Marvel or something like that tied in with issue 1, it's at the goddamn back of the book. I'm not interested in that. Put it after issue number 1, or mix the story in so you've got one whole complete story. But it goes, no, after you read that story, go and read all those tie-ins. It's dumb as hell the way they put that book. God dang it! It's a Bendis story, and they couldn't even get the graphic novel. They couldn't get the trade right. Morons. Hi.
You want to correct Bendis story?
At the very least, I want a well-structured graphic novel or trade or whatever you want to call these. Because if the whole story was put in, it would have made sense, and you could get everything. Suddenly, 100 Miss Marvel graphic novels show up at Englatine's house.
You could have every issue of the story with Bendis rights, and you still would make sense.
Mm-hmm. Doing a white elephant gift exchange, if we wanted to sign on and actually do that, I think it would be kind of cool to send somebody something that you think they would actually like.
Oh, I already bought something for you. I'm gonna send you.
Oh,
you don't know
out there then.
No, but you don't know what it is, so that's the thing.
I better find something now. My comic book shop does currently have a first appearance of Black Widow, so I'll start saving.
Well, mine's not really that.
Yours isn't an $800
gift you're gonna like. The one I'm sending you isn't like that.
Is whatever you're sending as awesome as the first appearance of Bella? No, I couldn't.
It might be.
It's $800. That comic is $800 there. So if you want me to put it on layaway,
layaway 80 years, I'll pay you off.
Yeah, they oh shit, I've got a book on layaway. I need to get that out. It's like 2 weeks. Oh man, I don't think I paid anything on it. And I'm going, oh, my freaking memory. I put the first appearance of Black Canary for Silver Age appearance of Black Canary.
Have you thought about just putting post-it notes on you?
Yeah, I was gonna tattoo myself like Memento.
So remember. Oh yeah. I got a doctor's appointment today.
Yeah, I've got doctor's appointment. Don't forget to pick up the so and so, and right across here, white back to front. So yeah.
What? Get a post in here that says, remember to put on pants. Oh crap! I knew I forgot something.
Oh no! Unfortunately, that note was on my pants. Peace to the entire.
No. Or do you like Bible Black? No, I was kidding.
Right. So you're the guy who keeps talking about Gabby Rivera books. Here's all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you like Vita. That's pretty good, right?
You could lend it to someone who accidentally sells it and gives you the money, says Glenzer. I don't know. If, in all honesty, if I were to sell this, I don't know. Should I read it first at least?
Actually, I think people were getting tattooed on the inside of their bottom lips. They're getting those tattooed. It was really
yeah. People rarely ever get me a Christmas present of comics or a trade paperback or something. That's just very rare that it happens because I buy a whole bunch for myself. My brother got me the button, the Flash and Batman story. That was pretty good. I like that one.
I'll just get you a t-shirt that says Kiki Puppet Show so you can just advertise for us at Disney.
Oh, okay, that'd be cool. Yeah. If I ever go back to Disney, yeah, that would do it. My wife scored. The one time she got me a trade paperback, it was Kingdom Come. She just said, I went into the shop and said, "What's cool? My husband collects comics. I don't know what he has. What's cool?" and she got me Kingdom Come, and she was afraid that either I already had it or I was about to buy it.
That was the most cheapest option they gave her.
No, actually, at the time it wasn't cheap. I think it was like 16 or 17 bucks. I still have my original copy of it.
No, I'm just saying they probably like, oh yeah, you can get this other cool stuff here. Here's this Batman 241. You know.
I have the original copy. My original copy of that. My original copy of Arkham Asylum, a serious house on a serious street. So when I open it, it like flops because there's no support anymore on it.
Here's his first issue of Kiss and comics signed by all members of Kiss. Nah, I'll get him Kingdom Come.
Right. Yeah. You mean they put their blood into the magazine? Oh, that's gross. Here, take that back. You think you like Sonic the Hedgehog? Yeah.
Here's Captain Marvel. You said you like Captain Marvel. This is Carol. I want.
Yeah, my kids. I was gonna tell them just all you got to do to make me happy. They got cheap box sets at Walmart. They got Wonder Woman. They got on Blu-ray now the Superman series. They've got all these TV shows. Oh, I'll send them there, and they'll be like, "Okay, Dad, we got you Downton Abbey." Yeah.
That's sad. I hate to be a kid now asking for presents. Like, can I get the Captain America book? Oh, sure you go. Here's Sam Wilson. That's not Steve Rogers, Mom. You gotta explain who Captain Marvel is. You gotta explain who Captain America is. You also explain who Iron Man is. Explain who Green Lantern is. There's so if you're trying to find a Pacific, thing, you're better off. You here, just give me the cash. I'll walk through myself.
Trusty is saying the binding on my copy of Arkham Asylum is horrible. Yeah, mine's getting there as well. I have a copy of V for Vendetta. Somebody put a coffee cup on it, so it's got a coffee ring on it. So, Alice Cooper, nah, nope. I'm the Alice Cooper fan. As a matter of fact, I was reading.
Here's Davy Jones' harmonica. I don't want that. It's got spit over it.
Yeah, right. I was actually reading some Alice Cooper. Yeah, I do.
He used to do. He was radio DJing for a while. 10,
Alice Cooper?
12 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear he needed the job.
But it was fun though because he had a lot of insights as far as stuff he talked about, and he had guests on. So.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's got a few stories. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, he's coming in concert in
Phrasing.
He's coming in concert in March, I think, and that is going to be Ashley and Elizabeth's Christmas present. I'm buying them tickets to see Alice Cooper.
Brian's here. We can go home now. Time to go.
How you doing, Eric?
Yeah, I'm all right.
That 50-minute list is turned into an actual full-blown live stream.
I can see that.
And we're going strong.
VENKMAN here said that we should do a white elephant Christmas and just send a gift sight unseen. So you want a Ms. Marvel book?
No, thank you.
Yeah, you sure? It's brand new. It even has the Ollie sticker on it.
I just realized I still had Brian's address when he sent me that thing, so I was like, oh.
Which this was from my nephew, so I think that's why the sticker was still on it. This hardcover was $7.99. The first year he scored, man, he got me Marvel Essentials. That was the year before this one, starring Power Man. So good stuff, but he didn't get it Ollie, so it wasn't cheap.
Yeah. If you get Brian a comic book after 2012 to prove they exist.
Right. Alrighty. So what's up, Eric?
Not much. I said I just had to return a call, and it took a little longer than I expected.
So what do you have that you would like to speak of tonight?
No, I've just figured since you guys were still going, I would just come back and see what you guys were talking about.
Well, we figured out if we ignore the chat, the ad numbers actually do go up.
Yeah, apparently so. And if I act disassociated and don't talk a lot, yeah, then hey, look, the views did go up when you were talking. So yeah.
Yep.
What if Gabby Rivera wrote Carol Danvers? No change. In all honesty, I don't think it would change very much, except for she would be admitting that she's a lesbian.
You could have Robert Venditti writing Carol Danvers, and it's look at the same Carol Danvers. They like what they have. They don't want anything else. It's all about propaganda. They don't care about making money on the book. They have a specific narrative they want to write. And I've noticed that with Captain America too. You know, Brubaker, he wouldn't come back because they wouldn't let him write what he wants to write. That's why he left.
Oh, Paolo's trying to school me here, and I know he could probably on other things, but he says if I want to do the first appearance of modern day Nick Fury, his first appearance is in 21. Oh, Paolo. I said Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was a CIA agent in Fantastic Four 21. And in all honesty, he really does play Sergeant Fury more, and he looks more like Sergeant Fury. I wanted to do the Nick Fury we knew from S.H.I.E.L.D., so it was I wanted to do the Steranko kind, sort of thing. So
does Nick even have the eye patch in Fantastic Four 21?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, so I think he was pretty much the same Sergeant Fury that he was in the Sergeant Fury in his Howling Commandos, because it was supposed to be more of a, why don't you guys, if you like this issue of Fantastic Four, go read Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is more of his own book, and it's a different character almost, in my opinion. Any reaction that they're killing Superman again?
There's rumors that they might to make it permanent. That's from Bound in the Comics. Other than that, you're the second person to bring it up.
It's not going to be permanent.
No.
It's not going to be. What if they had Vita write Power Girl? Then Power Girl would suck and be a lesbian.
No, she'd be the 17-year-old black girl version of Power Girl.
There you go. But in all honesty, I as far as the death of Superman, they've done it before. I don't know. Maybe they'll be successful this time.
Well, they're definitely doing it for two different reasons. I mean, the first time was to boost sales and to introduce some new characters. This time is just to prop up an agenda-driven character.
Get their social justice credits.
Yeah,
and get paid.
Again, I said I remember. I believe we were told that Superman, Son of Kal-El, #5 was the most important Superman book since the death of Superman. I remember cars filling up parking lots and comic book shops from sea to shining sea in 1993. But I don't think anybody was there this week or what? Yeah, for this. I mean, nobody was waiting to come in to get this.
I think so. I don't know. I just don't see. Yeah, I don't see it making the news. The big news, they already did Superman dies. So the big news that DC had, the only bullet that DC Comics had was that, oh my gosh, Superman's gay. And then people find out it's not really Superman. We've also been through this before when people thought that Dick Grayson was going to get shot in the head. It turns out that nope, a person they never met before is going to get hit with a crowbar. And hey, look, they even brought him back. So I don't think that they're going to get out of this what they're expecting to get. I do have faith that comic book readers are getting tired of the social justice stuff, of the wokeness that's going on. Most comic book readers are. So, and I understand that there is some social justice credits working, but ultimately I think they're going to fail. They're going to fall. And then they're going to say, well, we only wanted to do this temporarily anyhow. They're going to bring Clark back. I'd love to see you guys do a top 10 most woke comic book characters ever video.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's something kind of cool. I was looking up and stuff, and Universal's Frankenstein just turned 90.
Good movie.
Good
Yeah,
lord.
Yeah.
It's, well, that means Dracula is 90 as well.
Yep.
Is that they both came out in 31?
Yep.
It also means my dad would be 90 if you were still with us. Because that's the other thing 1931 produced. Dad.
Clark is going to come back. Well, one thing that they could do, I'm not kidding you, just trust me that they could do this, is one thing they can do is they bring Clark back, but they start to phase John out. So the Superman that everybody knows is gay Superman ceases to be John and ends up being Clark. If they could ride this pony for a few years to the point where people aren't really paying attention to the stories in the past, they can actually do this. And I think the crowd would go ahead and accept it. Not us, but I think the crowd that's reading comic books would accept it.
You want to know how Marvel's out of ideas? They just did the Miles Morales verse clone thing. Now they're doing the Gwen verse.
Yes, we talked about that when we talked about the Miles thing. But
I'm
yeah,
bringing it up again because that's getting closer to happening again. And just,
what were you going to say, Eric?
Yeah.
About the Superman thing, and if they brought that they could phase out Superman as a straight man and just bring in Clark Kent as the gay Superman.
I don't think they'll ever do that, at least not in the foreseeable future, because there's the only way, there's one of two things going to happen. Either the comic book reading public that they have now, that they want now, is going to have to change their minds and realize that they want more out of comics than race swaps, gender swaps, and sexuality swaps.
Yeah,
I don't see that happening, because I think that's what the way they present the industry now. And so if you're supporting that industry enthusiastically as a new reader, that is what you want. And since that's the audience they want, that's going to continue to happen. But the audience at large, i.e. the ones that support live action properties, unless China changes its opinion on social justice, they're never going to be able to make that full leap, because they want those movies to play there.
Yeah, but they could still do the movies while having the comic books be
right. No, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think they'll ever, they may try it in the comics, or they may just phase Clark Kent out altogether, because the audience they have doesn't want the old characters anymore.
I could see them having Lois basically hooking up with Renee Montoya and saying that Clark neglects her needs, hitting him as a villain, and she divorces him.
Well, again, I think I think especially the people in charge of DC right now, I think would like nothing better than to have Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne go away permanently. If they could make that happen, they would.
Where's Lena Luthor?
They're not going to be able to do it yet.
They're going to start bringing CW stories into the DC. They already don't start doing it yet. So I'm surprised.
And like I said, and Arthur Curry, Hal Jordan, all those old white guys, they'd love to just get rid of all of them.
Reboot them. Put all minorities in the.
Well, they've already done that part. Now they just phase out the older characters and just consign them to the dustbins of history and collected editions that they can sell to our generation while we're still here. Unfortunately, both companies are still pretty good about serving that need. But yeah, I could see there coming a time when there's no more Bruce Wayne or Clark Kent in DC Comics.
I could see that happening pretty soon. All right. I know you just jumped back on, but I'm going to call it here, dude.
Hey, man.
All righty. So thanks for hanging out with us. Oh, Vic, what's up? I thought Hydra Cap was pretty good.
You know who's even a better character they should bring back is Barf. He can barf up a whole new universe all new difference. Barf. He's gonna retcon everything. He's gonna see a Wonder Woman. There you go. Hey.
You know, it just amazes me, by the way, because he's out there, but he is. But a Hydra cap.
Last I heard, he was killed.
I didn't think it would be a warning of things to come. I guess that's ultimately it. You know, you look at a freaking character like Barf. You look at the Hydra cap storyline. What was that called again? Secret Empire? It was Secret Empire.
Yeah.
You look at that, and it's absolute. I could see the meeting. I can actually see the meeting. What we got to liven up Captain America. What do you want to do? Have him as a Nazi? The person who said yes to that was a freaking moron. It was just a freaking moron. But then we'll come back and we'll make sure it's Sam Wilson as Captain America. We'll cement it and tell all the haters who don't like black people to go screw themselves. Not that any of us have a problem with the Falcon at all. As a matter of fact, my whole thing is I think it's an insult to turning him into Captain America at all. He's the Falcon and has been for 50 freaking years. Having him take the identity of his more famous white partner is an insult. And it's all because they want to freaking skip steps. But with a Falcon, you're not skipping steps. Look, here's the thing. Love the character. Really do. Some characters are meant to carry a comic. Some characters just don't. Falcon so far just doesn't. Unless you attach the white guy's name to it. Unfortunately, that's what Marvel taught the readers. And then to cement it, they have Steve Rogers say, Hail Hydra, that's your freaking big go-to? It was a warning. It was a freaking warning. It was Nick Spencer. I don't know if it was a mandate or whatever, but Nick Spencer decided, you know what? We're going to show you that the excitement in comics comes from when we have our characters act like they never would. We're going to rip the core out of a character to show you, because what's it called with your expectations?
Subvert your expectations.
Subvert your expectations. And it doesn't. The only subversion there is we expect a good story. And they haven't come up with that part. For freaking 13 years, it's been, let's tear this character down. Let's tear this character down. Oh my gosh, Alan Moore did it. We could do it too. No, you can't.
The difference, you basically described the 21st century in comics.
Yeah.
The difference is the first decade, the characters weren't written the way they should have been, but the ideas
was a big ball of
right.
shit.
But the ideas, the story ideas were interesting and innovative. But the second half has just been rehashing stories that were told better just one decade ago.
Yeah.
Civil War 2, Planet Hulk 2.
Why would they do that? It's
right.
just...
I mean, it's, like I said, you say what you want about Civil War, and it was full of plot holes. I will grant that.
Mm-hmm.
And characters were written out of character.
Yeah, they were.
But it was a neat idea to do, but it wasn't meant to be permanent. And what it led into, the Secret Invasion, Skrulls everywhere, Norman Osborn, blah blah blah, culminating in Siege. But since that point, I said, and while it was going on, you had the Abnett and Lanning cosmic stuff. You had Planet Hulk. You had, I know there's another one I'm forgetting in there, but then the last 10 years have just been bad rehashes by people with nowhere near the talent, and even the people that were there, even the same writers, didn't have near the talent they once had.
I know, right? It's TDS, it's Trump derangement syndrome messed up the writers. Twitter destroyed many writers.
Yeah.
Hell, we see social media messing up even Ethan. Ethan's every time I talk to somebody about in Comic Gate gets brought up. Ethan's so late on his books, they say, because he's always on stream. Same thing with Gail Simone. Gail Simone was never Alan Moore level, but who was? You know, yeah, there are great writers other than him, and I'm not saying differently, so slow your rolls, guys. But point being is the reason why we remember the great ones is because they're surrounded by mediocre. I think that Gail Simone, I think Mark Waid were good writers, and they were destroyed. They were destroyed by social media. We see that with so many artists, so many writers get destroyed by the social media. I think you nailed it. You nailed it when you mentioned how the writing these days in comics, the dialogue seems to come from a whole bunch of people who are raised on social media because they're speaking like they would on Twitter. They're not talking like somebody would face to face. We don't speak in Twitter speak face to face. I've never met anybody who does. Yeah. LOL. No, you actually talk to people. There's conversations. You emote with each other. But the comic books have just fallen down that rabbit hole. And you're absolutely right. Civil War was the beginning of the end. The fact that you write a supposedly intelligent character like Captain America to say, haha, Congress passed this law. Now I'm going to overturn that law by punching Iron Man in the face. You know, had he removed the mask and gone into to actually be a part of Congress or the presidency or something, that would have done better. That would have been better. So while Steve Rogers is in Congress, of course, his biggest enemy in Congress is now Tony Stark, who is standing against or standing for the registration. Look, we can't do this anymore. We have had huge casualties on each side. If people are going to go out and be police, they need to be trained. Everybody who's had an origin, think about every comic book that's ever had an origin. That person has their powers, flies out, unleashes all sorts of building and mountain destroying powers on people to stop whatever their first bad guy was. Yeah, I can actually see cause for the registration. I'm sure if it was written properly, it would be that. And then it would be Steve Rogers. No, I'm sorry, but we cannot say that we cannot register people the same way we register weapons. We can't have a database. For the first part, any these government documents, they could get hacked. The villains could find out who ever somebody is. We don't want a database of the heroes or the people who are trying to do good. You cannot register people as weapons. There would be an argument for both sides. There's a story there that would be awesome and it would be smart. And yes, you would still have fighting in the streets among the troops, the troop heroes, not Tony Stark and Captain America, because they know that's not how you change things in America, by punching somebody in the street. Unlike what BLM and Antifa think. And I think there was a brilliant story right there, but instead they freaking said that Captain America is so stupid that he's going to change a law by punching Tony Stark in the face. I don't know.
The law was unconstitutional.
But I will say, and to their credit, they eventually, Tony and Steve made up. Tony and Thor made up. They had a miniseries called Aftermath, where the three of them basically, almost like a vision quest, for lack of a better term, and they patched up all their differences, moved into the heroic age, but then it all started falling apart from that point. They stopped paying people what they were worth. They lost a lot of their best writers, and then All New, All Different happened, and then nothing exists after that.
Yeah, it's it was a sad story. That to me was the beginning of the end, where we saw Marvel writing characters out of character in order to tell their story.
But if you remember the first 5 years of the 2000s, Marvel was god awful.
Yeah,
they were. At least this was. Yeah, at least they started paying attention to continuity again. They started doing. They started coming up. They had some ideas at least. The Jamas era was just just trash. I mean, and that's why the Ultimate books were so successful, because the regular Marvel line was not. I mean, there were a few exceptions, but there was not a lot of good coming out of Marvel in those years.
Zach's saying, part of me wonders if Marvel's editors micromanaging is also to blame. We've seen how it affected Star Wars and Lucasfilms. Yeah. And then everybody weighed in on me saying that I hear that Ethan is late because he streams too much. That's what I hear. That's what I get messages from and comments on whenever it's brought up. And what is this? He's 2 years late on, or 4 years. What was it? Ethan is over a year late on his second book in 4 years. Go figure. Let's see. They made him get his jimmies rustled by comments. Steve punched Hitler. Rogers attacks people over perceived hate speech, says Jado. It's ridiculous. And then Secret Empire was a big freaking insult to anybody who liked the medium, much less just Marvel Comics. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know what they have planned. I could tell you that I grow tired of Marvel and DC more and more each day.
Did you guys touch on X-Men Green while I was gone?
No, I haven't read it.
Someone asked about it. Apparently, it's an Infinity book.
Well, yeah, where the girl, the mutant eco-terrorist kills a convenience store guy and then goes and kills a bunch of other people in the name of the environment. And Emma Frost's reaction is this is going to give us bad publicity. We should do something about it. Not, oh, we've got someone killing innocent people. I mean, it's the most offensive thing Marvel's ever done, and that's saying
to
something.
be fair, she's always been a freaking villain.
Not like this. Like I said, if you just watch a couple of the videos covering this story,
and the fact that again?
X-Men Green.
All right.
We heard about it a couple months ago where the girl stabs the convenience store guy in the neck.
I'm looking for it on Comixology. Maybe I can find it. Because if we can check it out right now, we will. X-Men Green. X-Men Limited, planet-sized. Legends, not seeing. Okay, let me just type that.
Apparently it's digital.
Yeah, which means it probably would be here.
Is it ongoing?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Comixology doesn't have them. So, do I?
I know a lot of them.
Here we go. Yeah, if I could find it, maybe we could check it out. X-Men Unlimited Legends, X-Men Unlimited Infinity Comic, X-Men Unlimited Infinity Comic. What is this? X-Men Green. Because, yeah, hey, content is content. We could read it. I don't care.
Well, if you find anything about it, it would definitely be a subject for tomorrow night.
Okay. It's called X-Men Green?
I believe so.
Okay.
And yeah, a particular YouTuber who generally stays in the middle of things was noticeably angry at this story. And that's Perch. That's like the Vision getting angry.
Is it X-Men Unlimited Infinity Comic?
I think it is. I think it, because I'm looking at it, I'm seeing this thing called X-Men Unlimited Infinity Comic, and I think that might be it.
And there's 11 issues ongoing.
Yeah.
Jonathan Hickman? No, it can't be right.
Is it by Jonathan Hickman?
I don't think he was. No, I think Duggan wrote it.
Okay. I don't know. We'll try. We'll try to find it and see if we can't do a look through on it and talk about X-Men Green tomorrow.
think he was the one who said that people should be fired for this.
That
I mean,
bad,
not just the writers. I mean, editorial. Well, I said it's basically it's this belief that if you believe you're right, that you have the right to murder anybody that disagrees with you. And apparently, this convenience store guy was doing something that this girl mutant thinks was hurting the environment, so she felt entitled to kill him.
And everybody was like, "Oh, good, yeah, I can see that."
And like I said, Emma Frost is like, "Well, this could lead to bad publicity." I mean, I said these are not. I mean, I was gonna say they're not human. Of course not. They're mutants, but these are soulless characters being written by soulless activists. It's an insult to any reasonable thinking person. But we know those are rapidly becoming in shorter supply.
Yeah.
Oh, was it issue 10, wrongful death? That's what it is. I don't know.
Okay. Is that what happens? Is it? I don't know. Like I said, I found it, but it's not letting me open it. So maybe we find it on the read only or something.
Her name's called Nature Girl.
Yes.
It's by Hickman.
But I don't think he wrote the story that they're talking about. I think Duggan wrote the story. I think Hickman created her, but I don't think he wrote
the only
the story
the only thing on Infinity I see is by Hickman.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's not sure. Must have been issue 9 then. Maybe in this. Yeah.
Okay, so the book opens and we see Emma Frost. She says the car was to meet us. Does anyone see it? They're going around. They're served for wrongful death. Girls trail of destruction. Charles Xavier still has that stupid freaking helmet on his head.
Issue 9 shows something about a girl confronting her past. Yeah, she stabs on the neck. So I'm not how old that issue is.
Oh, this is bad. This is horrible bad. Wow, this is god-awful stuff. And I haven't even gotten to the story yet. It's just, this is not good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You got to find a way to actually do something with this because it looks really, really bad. Good stuff. Now X-Men enslaved an entire planet to build them their own terraformed world where they threaten and extort Earth for their protection. Yeah, and they're treated as heroes. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. You know, that thing that prisons are known for. Right. Dirty work, guys. It starts with issue number 5. It says trusty. Perch said it started with issue number 5. That'll be something to look into. We'll talk about that tomorrow then. For now, this is the 4th attempt.
Yeah,
only 4?
4th attempt to say goodnight. We're 2 hours in to a 1 hour live stream. So you kids have a great time. One of the few things I found entertaining Cowboy Bebop is they make a joke out of how annoying environmentalists are. Me too. I did like that as well. Because as a former environmentalist, they don't know what they're talking about. They are dumb. All right, kids. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us. Please don't forget there's a Ko-Fi link in the description below. Please share out with your friends and such. Tell them how awesome we are and that we need to get together tomorrow night at 9 as well. Also, I know this is a weird week because of the holidays. We do need players, however, for Jeopardy. So if you are interested, so we can play the game, let me know in the comments here or at Englandteen on Twitter or englandteen@gmail.com. All right. That being said, thank you very much for Venkman and Eric jumping on with me. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night, kids.
Good night, kids.